Did you ever dream, back when you were a teenager, about being stranded on an island with your high school crush? Have you ever thought about what it would be like if you were the only person on the entire planet? How would you act if you were alone on an island just like Robinson Crusoe? This fundamental question might seem like just a random thought nowadays, but 1,000 years ago, it was one of the hottest topics you could discuss. People were curious about what a person would do or how they would behave if they were born alone in an island, away from all other humans. The roots of this topic can be traced back to Ibn Sina, who was the first to speculate about it. Later Islamic thinkers and philosophers started creating their own stories and ideas about it. It's important to note that what goes back to Ibn Sina is the philosophical speculation about the quote-unquote problem and not the problem itself. The idea can be found in a saying of the Prophet ﷺ, where he tells his companions, "No child is born except upon natural instincts. His parents make him a Jew or a Christian or a magician." Let's make a quick pause. Creating quality content takes time and resources, and I'm thrilled to bring you these intriguing historical insights. If you want to support the channel and help me continue sharing these incredible stories, consider donating through my Patreon page. You can find the link in the video description below. Your contribution, no matter the size, goes a long way in ensuring I can keep researching, creating and delivering more engaging history content. Together, we can make history come alive. Thank you for your support, and let's keep exploring the past together. Two of the most famous versions of this concept come from Ibn Tuffail and his Sufi masterpiece, Hayy ibn Yaqzan. And the other one is actually a response to Ibn Tuffail's work by Ibn al-Nafis called Theologus Autodidactus. In later centuries, this speculation would follow to create another fictional masterpiece called Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Hayy ibn Yaqzan, written by the Andalusian philosopher and physician Ibn Tuffail, is a remarkable philosophical allegory that explores the themes of self-discovery, rational inquiry, and the pursuit of truth. The title can be translated as The Living Son of the Vigilant or Alive Son of the Awake. The narrative follows the life of Hayy, an infant abandoned on a desert island who grows up without any human contact. Through his innate intelligence and observational skills, Hayy gradually develops an understanding on the natural world and the principles governing it. As Hayy matures, he engages in profound contemplation and intellectual pursuits, eventually discovering the principles of reason and the existence of a divine creator. The philosophical journey of Hayy is a representation of the human quest for knowledge and self-realization, emphasizing the power of reason in reaching spiritual and intellectual enlightenment. The narrative serves as a thought experiment, exploring the innate capacity of the human mind for intellectual and spiritual development when liberated from societal influences. Hayy ibn Yaqzan is considered a foundational work in Islamic philosophy and has had a significant influence in later thinkers, including the renowned philosopher Ibn Rushd. In contrast to Ibn Tuffail's perspective in Hayy ibn Yaqzan, Ibn al-Nafis, in his seminal work Theologus Autodidactus, delves into intricate relationship between human reason and divine revelation. Ibn al-Nafis posits that human reason alone cannot fully comprehend God unless clear signs, such as those provided by prophets, are sent by God. Unlike Ibn Tuffail, who seemingly marginalizes the role of wahi, or revelation, and asserts that natural state of humanity allows individuals to reach God independently, Ibn al-Nafis places a significant emphasis on the necessity of prophetic guidance for humans to grasp profound religious truths. This divergence in perspective echoes a broader theological debate with Islamic scholarship. Ibn al-Nafis contends that without the guidance of prophets, individuals would live akin to animals, lacking the spiritual and moral guidance needed for a meaningful existence. This sentiment aligns with the view among Islamic scholars that a person cannot be held accountable in the afterlife unless they have had exposure to the teachings of Islam in the worldly realm. Consequently, Theologus Autodidactus contributes not only to the philosophical discourse of its time, but also engages with theological considerations about the nature of human cognition and the role of divine guidance. Ibn al-Nafis' work emerges a pivotal contribution to the philosophical landscape of the 13th century, akin to groundwork laid by Ibn Tuffail. By exploring the delicate balance between reason and faith, Theologus Autodidactus challenges prevalent dichotomies, offering a nuanced perspective on the interplay between scientific inquiry and religious exploration. In doing so, it leaves a lasting imprint on the intellectual traditions of the Arabic literature, influencing later philosophical thought in the Islamic world. Fast forward to later centuries, we encounter another novel that is widely regarded as one of the earliest works of fiction in English literature, Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe carries a significant religious undertone, reflecting the context of the time in which it was written, the early 18th century, when religious beliefs played a substantial role in shaping societal norms and individual behavior. The protagonist, Robinson Crusoe, undergoes a profound spiritual transformation during his solitary sojourn on the desert island. Crusoe's initial disregard for his father's advice to stay at home and pursue a safe, conventional life is seen as an act of disobedience, reflecting a theme of divine providence and the consequences of straying from the path of righteousness. The shipwreck, which leads Crusoe's isolation on the island, is interpreted as a form of divine punishment for his rebellious actions. This notion aligns with the prevailing religious sentiment of the time, where individuals were often encouraged to accept their fate as part of God's plan and seek repentance and redemption in times of trial. As Crusoe faces the challenges of survival, he turns to religion for solace. He starts reading the Bible, praying and contemplating his actions in the eyes of God. The novel portrays Crusoe's religious awakening as he begins to acknowledge the providential nature of his circumstances and attributes his deliverance from despair to divine intervention. The arrival of Friday, whom Crusoe converts to Christianity, further emphasizes the theme of religious redemption and the idea of European culture and religious superiority prevailing over the perceived savagery of indigenous cultures. In essence, Robinson Crusoe intertwines religious themes with a narrative of survival, exploring the complexities of faith, repentance, and the transformative power of religious conviction in the face of adversity. The novel reflects the religious sensibilities of its time while also offering a broader commentary on the human capacity for spiritual growth and redemption. In contrast to the depictions presented by Ibn al-Nafis and Tuffail, Robinson Crusoe's narrative unfolds differently. Crusoe inadvertently finds himself isolated from humanity, prompting a reflection on the religious teachings. However, in this case, the contemplation is framed within a biblical background. In retracing the compelling trajectory of human contemplation surrounding the theme of isolation on a desert island, our exploration spans across various cultures and centuries, encompassing the philosophical inquiries of Ibn Sina, the allegorical musings of Ibn Tuffail, the intricate theological reflections of Ibn al-Nafis, and the later fictional narrative woven by Daniel Defoe in Robinson Crusoe. This enduring fascination with the hypothetical scenario of a solitary individual marooned on an inhabited island has persisted, evolving through diverse literary contributions. From the foundational speculations of Ibn Sina to the philosophical narratives of Ibn Tuffail and Ibn al-Nafis, the theme transcends time, capturing the imagination of thinkers across different epochs and cultures. In each iteration of this concept, whether rooted in philosophical discourse or fictional storytelling, the exploration revolves around more than mere survival. It becomes a lens through which to examine the complexities of faith, resilience, and the dynamic relationship between the individual and the divine. The stories and philosophical inquiries offer diverse perspectives on how solitude prompts introspection, intellectual discovery, and spiritual evolution. In this shared exploration, Ibn Sina, Ibn Tuffail, Ibn Nafis, and Daniel Defoe each contribute a unique brush stroke to a larger canvas of human curiosity about existence, solitude, and self-discovery. If you are as fascinated by these captivating historical tales as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you will be the first to know when I drop new videos that unravel the mysteries of the past. Join our amazing community of history buffs and let's embark on this incredible journey together.